More than 1,000 workers from top AI firms have signed a petition calling on the US government to help, quote, deliberately pace AI development. The signatories of the letter include the CEO of Anthropic and the chief scientists from OpenAI and Meta Superintelligence Lab. Let's get more. Bloomberg's AI editor, Seth Fiegerman's with us. This has been playing out on social media too, as more high-profile names become literal signatories to it. Let's start with the idea. Like, what is it that this group of those in industry, researchers working on AI, are trying to affect? What is the result that they're looking for?
Yeah, Ed, it's really a moment to step back and take stock of. They're calling for basically a technical and policy framework that governments or an international group could use at some point, if necessary, to, quote, deliberately pace AI development. They're not specifically calling to slow it down, though that seems to be the implication. And, the backstory seems to be both a growing awareness that AI might one day be able to kind of automate itself, that they're building technology that can kind of conduct its own research and development and start to kind of supercharge and accelerate that development in ways that could potentially create runaway AI progress, though we may not be there at the moment. And then, as you were just talking about, it comes days after the first of now two different but related breaches from OpenAI's technology that have raised heightened concerns.
Let's use Anthropic as a case study. They made a social post on Tuesday, yesterday, explaining their people's participation. They are one of the leading frontier labs working on advancing AI, and they're saying, we're okay with joining this effort to, let's call it, slow it down.
You're right. And in some ways, I think it's actually borrowing from some of Anthropic's earlier rhetoric. I mean, you might recall that Jack Clark, one of Anthropic's co-founders, had put out a lengthy post weeks or maybe a couple of months ago calling for the idea that maybe we would want a pause button or a mechanism to pause AI development, stopping short of saying we need it now or it's definitive, but kind of introducing that idea. And I think that thought has been percolating a lot now in recent weeks, whether it's Demis Hassabis kind of calling for some sort of international framework or a FINRA type organization to vet and review models, or a more explicit call to slow or pause development. Again, there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts here, but it seems like the industry is increasingly captivated by this thought that there needs to be some mechanism to slow, pause, or rethink the pace of development.
To end, Seth, the petition is urging the US government to do something, to take some kind of action in conjunction with something that's happening around the world anyway in different jurisdictions. Do we have a sense of what that would look like from the US government? Are we talking about Congress taking action, an executive order? What's the mechanism?
Yeah, certainly in that petition, they're not spelling it out, but coming, weeks after Demis and Sam Altman have kind of been advocating for more of an international coalition, I would think of it in that mold. I don't know if that's just the Trump administration lending its support or a particular piece of legislation from Congress, but I think it's the idea of the US working with part of an international body to begin to rethink how we govern this technology.